You are listening to the BowHunterPlanet podcast, Season 6. The podcast is supported by Scent Crusher, Scent Off, Game On, Tinks, Cat Work Truck, Victory Archery, Thorn Broadheads, Shadow Hunter Blinds, COBRA Archery, Burris, HHA Sports and HHA USA, Reveal Cellular Cameras, and Deer Camp Coffee. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the BowHunterPlanet podcast. Myself, Tim Mazarana, tonight, along with a full crew of BHP members. We got Tim Mazarana, that's Dave Thomas. We got Jay Dumas. We got Jamie Noteboom. You probably want to change your name there, Mr. David, on the Zoom here so everybody actually knows who you are. But welcome everybody. Jamie, Jay, David, always amazing to see you guys. And we have a special guest tonight, Shawn from Heartland Bowhunters. How's it going, man? It's good to see you.
Going good, doing well. You didn't want to try and pronounce my last name?
No, I looked at that thing at the last minute
Smart
and I
man.
said absolutely not. But if you wouldn't mind, tell us how to pronounce your last name.
I was just hoping you butcher it like most people do.
No.
It's pronounced Luchtel, but usually I hear Luchtel, the whole
Luchtel?
all of it. I mean, it's crazy.
You got to take it in the proper order, right?
Hey, just imagine having my last name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dumbass. Sorry. I swear to God, I saw a B. That's my bad.
Oh my God.
I love it,
Shawn, what's up, man? How you been?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Busy. I went to West Virginia this past weekend, which I'd never been to, and it was actually a lot of fun. Didn't know what to expect. But yeah, outside of that, just working away. It's supposed to kind of be downtime, but as you guys know, there's really no downtime in anybody's life.
Yeah, no doubt. What were you doing out in West Virginia?
I got invited to a banquet. This was 2 years ago, actually, and then COVID hit, and they kept postponing it, and then they had it this year. It's just a bow hunters banquet with there's probably 300 people there, and I did a seminar, and then I was the keynote speaker actually on Saturday.
Fun.
First
Man
time
of the hour, spotlight on you.
Yeah, it was wild. I've never actually, sat and talked to 300 people or more for like an hour, and it's like, I don't know about you guys, but like if you've been given that opportunity, you're like, man, I don't feel like I'm that interesting of a guy to sit there and talk for an hour. But I'm gonna try to make it interesting, I guess. So it went well though.
No.
It was cool.
That's awesome.
Well, so did you have a speech planned for that? Like, did you have everything written out, or was it kind of on the fly? Kind of like us. Like, we have honestly no clue what we're doing right now.
Yeah, no, and I didn't want to do like a scripted thing because I was like, I remember doing that in school and it just never worked out well. So I had bullet points and like a little bit of a presentation to go off of. And then I had like 7 minutes of video since, we do video. I was like, I got to show some of these people some of our video. And then, the rest was pretty much off the cuff. I practiced a little bit here and there, but it was not scripted.
I got the best advice in college from my communication counselor. You got to go up there and do a 30-minute speech and all that kind of stuff. My teacher, like right before we started this series of everybody has to get up in front of the class and all that kind of stuff, she's like, I'm going to give you one tip. It's like for those of you that are 20 or over, wink, wink, 2 shots before you start talking and it'll go smoothly. So just a little hint for you, but no, it's a little nerve-wracking to get up in front of that many people. I mean, we do this all the time. We talk to a lot of different people. In my day job, I'm doing 100 group member meetings, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like even I get butterflies before I go up on stage because it's like you start overthinking things a little bit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. Is like, I feel like the best thing to do there is don't overthink it, because when you do, that's when you do screw up. And like, I don't know. I just thought of like, man, dude, you're having a conversation really kind of with yourself, essentially. I mean, granted, you are performing a little bit, but just think of it as just talking to yourself. And that's what we all do. I mean, all day long, we're all constantly talking to ourselves. So
yeah. Well, that's a great segue for the rest of the podcast. So Shawn, if you wouldn't mind just going through that whole speech again and go.
Sorry, I already scrapped it and gone out of my memory. And
yeah, I did a couple things. The ATA invited me to do the media summit, and we did it. The one I did was virtual, which, to be honest, it was a little bit it was more nerve-wracking than I thought it would be, mainly because I started thinking about, it was interesting because you're doing it to your peers in the industry, because that's who's mainly hearing it, then the consumer. So it was kind of like nerve-wracking because like I started thinking like, maybe they don't maybe the things I think are important in social media and stuff, maybe they think that's like stupid, or maybe, you start like really thinking like, maybe we are not really doing what we think is cool, so I remember that feeling. But I get it all the time. And I learned that I get this very strange cough comes over me when I get nervous before I'm going to talk in front of a scene where it's like my boss is at work, and not just bosses, but like if I went into a boardroom to talk, I start coughing beforehand. It's very odd, but once I'm in it and I'm doing it, I'm fine. It's like the weirdest thing. It's almost like I'm allergic to like start coughing. I can't breathe.
Yeah, that would be weird. I mean, I'm sure I have my own nervous tics that I don't even know of. My wife was there and she's like, you said like 50 times, but other than that, you did good.
I think everybody
That's the
does
one
that.
thing I always pick up on is the ums.
Yeah.
So it's a little quirks and all that kind of stuff, man.
So what do you?
Because that's my thing. Is like my mind is so far ahead of my mouth sometimes, and then it's like, oh,
okay,
and then I'll
Gene,
lose track.
Is it really your mind ahead of your mouth? Or is it your mouth ahead of your mind?
I knew
Let's pinpoint this a little bit.
I mean, I haven't gotten too much trouble. There's a lot of things I want to say, especially at work, that I do not. So
yeah.
Hey, I was literally at this training one time. All right. And this guy's like an electrical engineer, and he's going to teach us all about electrical, right? How to be safe, how to do all this stuff. And the guy knew, I mean, just talking to him outside before he actually got up there and did his presentation, you could tell this guy knew everything. But he was a nervous wreck. I'm watching him start to sweat, all this kind of stuff going on. It was like maybe 60 people in the room. He gets up there and he's doing this thing with his mouth. He's like, I'm like, oh man, this is not good. So then they're like, okay, this is so-and-so. They introduced him and he just stood there. And everybody's like, what is going on right now? He just stood there and he told the guy, he's like, I can't do this. He's like, I can't do this. I'm like, he literally walked off the stage.
On the stage?
Yeah. He's like, I can't do this. I was horrified.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean you can't do this? You could say anything and none of us would know what you're even talking about. You'd be smart. So
read the charts.
Ohms, watts, volts.
The guy, I thought the guy was going to fall out. It was that bad. So Shawn, you got this, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. You made it. You made it, right?
Yeah, I did make it, but I remember, what was it, like oral presentation class or something? It was like an elective in college freshman year. I remember we had to go and, it was a speaking class or whatever. And I remember our professor, she was like, yeah, like number one fear of most people in the world is death. And then second to that is public speaking. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
So what's
that really instills the confidence.
Yeah. So yeah, I
love it, man. Well, I feel like we should talk a little bit about hunting, man. So
probably.
Are you guys, so turkey season right now, Michigan and elsewhere, it's coming around the corner. You doing any turkey hunting? What's going on?
Nope, giving it up this year. Not turkey hunting.
You're done.
Yeah. I knew you guys were gonna ask that question.
Not fun.
Yeah, I'm going turkey hunting. Going to Nebraska for April 1st for a couple days, and then I'll hit Kansas, Missouri, and then I think I'm going to go to Wyoming again. I don't know if you guys have ever hunted Wyoming, but it's pretty fun. hunting Merriam's.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions about like where we hunt and what we do, and the answer is always just Michigan.
Yeah.
For some of you.
What we do. That's kind of where we're at. So
Well, that's where all the monsters are. Why would we want to go anywhere else?
well, well, look at your wall. You know, those are look at my wall.
He's got a picture of a deer. Tim's got a picture of a button buck.
That's
Tim's
gonna
got a
be our
picture of a
Michigan. I
button
got a
buck.
picture of you.
Someone
Yeah.
else's
Oh, my God.
trophy picture.
Dude,
with
I make
his
sure-
face crudely.
I make sure
pasted
those
over it.
deer are in every video because it took me like 35 years to get one. Okay.
That's right. That's right. And I think that was probably the biggest deer in Michigan too. Which,
Yeah.
was,
No,
which
seriously.
honestly, those are
I
amazing
remember
deer,
that
Jay,
one.
for real, for Michigan.
Seriously,
Thank you.
one of the funniest podcasts we're ever on. We were on, and it was with Jeff Janis. And he's like, yeah, you know, I got these bucks, and he's showing us these awesome bucks, right? And we're like, what are those little ones behind you? He goes, oh, those are the Michigan because he's from Michigan. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing ever. We were dying. So what is your season looking like coming up? So you got turkey, but you know, for all the big stuff coming up for you guys, when is that going to start? Do you have like elk on the agenda? Obviously you have whitetail, but tell us a little bit about the states you guys are thinking for all that.
Hopefully. I put in for Montana, New Mexico, didn't draw Arizona, and then I think that's it for elk. I don't think I guess I did put in for Utah, but I highly doubt I draw that. But yeah, just hopefully Montana and maybe New Mexico. We'll see.
Nice.
But other than that,
So which bow are you shooting this year then? So I know Bowtech launched some new stuff, and I guess I was curious what you specifically are going to shoot.
I'm going to shoot the 350. I literally am getting it set up right now. I have it set up, not fully. I haven't sighted it in, but yeah, I'm going to shoot that. For turkeys, I don't feel like it really matters for them. But for whitetails and fall, big game, definitely the 350. So looking forward to that. I feel like I cranked up I didn't crank up. I actually toned down my setup with heavier weight as well. And so my arrows were flying a little slow this past fall. And at the end, I had 3 different deer duck my arrow.
Really?
Yeah, I'm shooting
Wow.
like 250 feet per second. So
Okay.
What's your draw length?
28.
28.
So-
You doing 60 pounds?
No, 70.
70 pounds. And they ducked your arrow. How far away is the shot?
2 of them were right at 40, but I had a doe do it at like 25, and I'm like, nah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was she alert?
You know, I could use that excuse like as a miss, but thankfully I have video to actually back it up, and you know.
Wow.
Or I'm sorry, I could use that excuse for a bad shot, but they were going to be perfect shots. Thankfully, I have video to go back and look at.
Dave, he must have been hunting at train station 20. That's how those does drop over there.
Yeah, it happened to me
3-footer.
a couple years back. But
Oh,
I was
yeah.
at 629.60, but I was at 40. That was 46 yards, but the doe was alert. And that's why I asked that question. She wasn't like alert when I shot, but she was already like skittish, you know, when she came in. And when she put her head down to eat, that's when I fired. But she knew. I mean, she was like, you know, and I still hit her, but she made a move. I don't know. What did you say, Jay? She ducked into it. That's what it was. I was
dropped
actually
right
going to
into it.
miss.
It was a bad shot that ended up being a good shot. That's what it was.
It was.
I've been
It looked like
Actually pretty cool.
That was on purpose. It
Yeah.
was anticipated.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
on purpose, of course. It's like
Yeah.
I guided it like a duck shot.
Did you say you're shooting 250 feet per second on your setup?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I actually switched my bow over to the comfort setting too at the beginning of the season. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shoot heavy arrow setup, comfort setting, like everything's gonna be great. I'm gonna be dialed in. We have pass-throughs. I'm probably not gonna take a shot over 40, 45 yards. Like, just try to make sure I've got pass-throughs. And like, the deer that I did kill, I had pass-throughs, but then towards the end, I shot at 2 different bucks. Both of them ducked. Both were at around like 40 yards. One was alert, one was feeding. And then that doe at 25, and she was feeding. So
What,
that
what-
point where you're like, something's got to change.
Yep. Yeah.
well, that's when you know.
I'm gonna switch over to the performance setting on that Bowtech, and I would honestly think that's gonna be the changing factor that I need.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It's a lot more power. And what about broadheads? Do you guys use any specific brand or?
Yeah, we use an AP, and I've gone back and forth between the Hellraiser, which is fixed, and then the Killzone, which is expandable. And I had great success with that Hellraiser penetration, but
The Hellraiser is sweet, man. To me, like those heads. So like if I go through the different brands, like if I ever think of, let's say the Muzzy 1, which is a solid blade broadhead, the Montech, the M3 Montech, the Hellraiser. So to me, like any of those would be badass in a scenario of any bow, compound or crossbow. And you know, every time I've used those type of broadheads, I get clean pass-throughs, really good blood, you know. And then for mechanical, I usually get a little bit, I mean, if I hit it right, if I get it, you know, in the goodie box, I got usually a shorter chase when after I hit them. They go less distance generally, and the holes are definitely bigger and the blood is more. So I do feel if it's hit right and you have the right scenario. Now, however, like I was telling the guys, you know, I had a shot on a nice buck, I think it was 2020 in the beginning of 2020. And it was too close. It was like a 5-yard shot. I took an angled downward shot. I hit it in the top of the rib cage here, and it went in like this far, you know, and that was with a Rage. And I'm like, whoa, you know. And I came off of shooting 4 animals with the Rage, all like, you know, perfect, you know, easy shots, you know, and like where everything was. So if I have the angle, it's no problem. But if you try anything weird, that's where I get nervous about any mechanical now. So it's like, if I, you know, broadside, no problem. But if you start thinking quarters and stuff like that, I get a little more nervous, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. It's like give or take, like you're saying. With an expandable, I feel like it can be like if you have a perfect shot, broadside and all that, like it's a gory mess. There's blood everywhere. Whereas if you did the same thing with a fixed blade, pass through, not much blood, but the animals, it seems like, don't usually go as far. You can watch them fall in sight. So
Yeah.
And as far as, you know, because I know every time you guys come on, we always end up talking about cameras because I love to talk about cameras. But what's the slowest frame rate you can get with the equipment you're using right now?
We're using a lot of the Canon, or we're mainly using the Canon R5, and that thing only goes to like 120. So really not that slow. But
yeah.
We do have a
I was just curious.
Yeah. I mean, I wish it was slower. Everything else I love about the camera, but that's one thing that I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. I wish it was a higher frame rate, but we do have a red, which I don't remember what it records, like 300 feet per second or something, like, or frames per second, I mean, but we don't use it that often. So.
That Canon R5, that's a DSLR, right?
Yep.
How do you guys deal with the file sizes on that? I know that's a very technical question, but we struggle using Canons for our type of stuff because the file sizes are just so freaking big.
Yeah. It's just one thing that, like, I feel like we've basically evolved into, because when we first started, I remember we could fit our entire season on, I don't know, like 4 or 5 terabytes. Now we require like 24 terabytes.
Yeah.
But like, it's just part of it. The cameras are so cheap anymore with the lens setup and everything that, I don't know, it's justifiable to just go ahead.
You can spend more on SD cards.
Yeah, SD cards, and then you are right about that. And then the hard drive. So I don't know. I don't get too hung up on it. Mike does, my partner. He's like, why are you filming everything in 4K, man? I'm like, because I'm using the camera.
I love it. That's exactly what Dave does to us. Is like when we're filming, it's like, you guys are wasting 4K. You know how long it's going to take me to upload? This is freaking ridiculous. Stop jerking around and let's just get this shit done.
No, I always tell him, stop it. You know, you record, stop, because otherwise it just, holy cow, man.
He says it so nicely now. I
get it. Like,
we recording? They have a
I
new
mean,
one.
like-
It looks like the R5C cinema one. That looks pretty cool.
I saw that come out. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool. It's not that much
I
more
don't
than the
know.
other one.
No, but we just got ours like a year ago, and I'm like,
Dave, don't, and thank you, Shawn. Dave, don't even think about it.
I'm not. I'm good. I'm good. I just
I
upgraded
had
our
to
computer.
listen. I got a text yesterday on a decline purchase because it was like, I don't know, like $5,000 or something like that. I'm like, dude, is this you? And he's like, yeah, man, approve that so I can make this purchase. I'm like, hold on a second, what are you doing? But it's I say that because it's crazy. Some stuff is cheap, right? The base camera, the actual body of the camera, some of the lenses you can get kind of cheap, but it's all the extra stuff, like your editing computers, the hard drives, like you were talking about. That stuff can run it's a pretty penny to actually do a full show and have footage and all that. And we don't do full shows, right? Our clips are usually shorter. We're not doing a lot of like really long clips and a lot of big editing or anything like that, but it still takes a lot to get that stuff edited down, and the cost to it is substantial.
I agree. Yeah. And it's like, I almost feel like they build some of this technology, especially the computers, to like not necessarily keep up after 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
So then you got to buy a new one. It's like,
we were literally talking,
this...
Dave and I were literally talking about that like probably an hour ago.
Yeah, we decided to get the better one this time because Apple just launched the Studio, so we ended up getting the Studio Ultra because we thought, well, the Pro's great. It's literally probably 40 times faster in this Mac we have now. But then we're like, yeah, but what's it going to be in 3 or 4 years? Because will it keep up? And these PCs, because we also run a PC as well for other stuff, that doesn't keep up. I gotta, constantly update and change it, and there gets, all this gets, viruses. I mean, it's terrible. The Apple's like no problem. Everything always works. So I was like, you know what? It's that time. They launched a 6 system at a good price. That it was actually stronger than the original Pro system, which is insane when you think of the numbers. But cameras are funny to me though, because you can adjust cameras now to get really good imagery through different brands. So for instance, we run a lot of Panasonic in our studio. We have Canon, but we found that the sizes were so big that it was really hard to work with on this computer. Now the new computer probably won't be a problem, but this old computer, it's not, it stills up we use Final Cut. It slows it down. And so we switched to Panasonic, which was a 4K, but it was compressed of some sort. And it looked, pretty good. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Canon in looks, but it's very close, very similar. But it is interesting what you could do with just lenses and changing different things. But I think what people don't realize is there's just a lot of cost there, because to play around, you have to spend money. Like, okay, I got this Panasonic G2 whatever body, but now I want a cinematic lens or a prime lens or whatever. So I think it adds up over time. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another thing too is like, we've been using Canon for, gosh, I don't know, probably 10 to 12 years. And we've become brand loyal just because of the functionality. We're used to it. Like, you can run the thing basically blindfolded almost. And I've switched over to Sony. Before, we've used a lot of Sonys, and it's just not the same for us. Like, you just get, if it goes with anything, like vehicle, bow, whatever, you just get used to it and you stick with it. And that's just what we found to be productive for us. And then again,
Canon's a great camera too. I mean, we don't have any issues with camera, with Canon and all. I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably I'm not even saying it's the best image quality that you can get out of that type of, DSLR. So.
And the pictures, man, it's so fast. It's so fast when you take photos with them. The one thing I liked Sony, what I liked about Sony was they changed. I felt like they offered you a little bit more for the price. They gave you like the 4K, and they gave you a smaller body. They gave you some other things, but at the end of the day, I wasn't a huge. I didn't like the look of it as much as the Canons or the Panasonics, to be honest. And Sony was the more expensive, I felt like, out of all of them, because they always were pricey.
Sony to me is probably much more out of the box user friendly than anything else. I mean, their user interface, I think, is a lot easier. Their basic, turn on and shoot type of functionality probably is a little bit better than Panasonic and Canon. But you're right about the image quality. It's just not
There's
as
something missing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like there's just something that doesn't look as crisp. If you did like just example, 50 mil prime, same prime, it's both shooting a 50 mil prime. You took a picture of the same guy. I feel like the Canon would look a little bit nicer in like a 5D Mark IV or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
Just
no,
a
I
little
say
bit
that and I'm
crisper.
staring at a Sony A600, right? So
yeah, but that's just a little pipsqueak compared to what these are. But
hey,
anyway,
zoom is zoom.
Yeah,
I agree with
so
that for sure.
So what are you guys using for camo? Like, who's your camo sponsor this year?
We're using Mossy Oak. We've been with them for probably 3 or 4 years now. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What do you guys use?
We're all over the place right now. We have some pending deals, put it that way. We have used we did Element for a couple of years, and in Element we wore a lot of Realtree, not because Realtree sponsors us or anything, but we always talk to Tyler a lot, so we just want to help where we can. And to be honest, I've never talked to anybody at Mossy Oak, so not that I wouldn't. I'm just saying I haven't. So it's not like I know them or anything like that. But so I've talked to Tyler a lot. So generally, we'll use Realtree where we can. I do like to use things that are different, like I like the Fred Bear camo. Like, I love it. When we were at Toll Archery Challenge last year, they had a freaking truck they gave away in that camo. It looks so sick. We were like, man, this thing's so cool. And then I don't know, what did we do, Tim? Like Scentlock? We had Scentlock for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, we're fashion over function. I mean, that's really
yeah.
We just
definitely
have
more
to look good. As long as we
don't
look good,
we don't hunt
that's
as
all
hard
we
as you
want,
guys do,
what I
man.
mean?
We're not huge. We're not like hardcore hunters. We would never say that.
I mean, I'll wear pink camo. It doesn't matter. I'll do it all day long.
Tim sits in a blind. He just walks out, sits in a blind.
He just
Well,
He's wearing what he's wearing.
That's a good point,
Black
Dave.
hoodies.
I don't honestly, I don't ever typically wear camo. I do a lot of ground blind hunting, so I'm black typically. So that's just kind of my MO.
He's like an emo hunter.
Yeah.
The rest of us bow hunt out of tree stands, unlike Tim, but that's okay. And we found over the years that I don't know. I've tried so many different camos and so many different brands over the years that one of the coolest ones I really liked a lot that didn't survive, and I'm very surprised by this, was the Vertigo by Scentlock. And we tested this in the field like multiple times, and it was unbelievable what it does when you look up. So if you're an animal or a person looking at a person wearing this, not just them, but even Predator camo has something similar to this idea.
Yeah, where it kind of breaks.
It really does a great job. And I was very surprised that Scentlock did not keep that in their lineup, to be honest. And I know maybe it wasn't their big seller or whatever, but I still would have kept it.
I'll ever get rid of that suit.
Exactly. It's going to wear out. You can get the moss on it.
I can't even remember. Do they have another camo line, or did they just do away with their own?
They did away with their own. They've always used Realtree and I think Mossy Oak as well. I'm looking on their website now because I can't remember what they're using today. Because I feel like they added their own this year again or 2 years ago. But it's not Vertigo. It was theirs, but I don't know. What is this? Savannah? Is that Mossy Oak Savannah? No, that's their brand. Sorry, Savannah. This is a Mossy Oak, though. What is this? This original Mossy Oak? Oh, yeah. Mossy Oak New Bottomland.
Oh, yeah.
You ever wore that one?
I'm wearing Bottomland every once in a while, but I don't know if I can't remember if it's the New Bottomland or not. But
what do you mainly wear for camo then? What color do you usually use for like whitetail?
What
for
color?
Mossy? Yeah, like this Terragilla. This is sweet. Terragilla. Breakup Country.
I've used the Breakup some. I've worn what is
DNA.
The Obsessed. I haven't worn that one. The Bottomland is like actually my favorite, just because it's I don't know,
it
looks like retro. Kind of.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I gotta ask.
Are you guys doing Nomad still?
Nomad? Yep. We're
For
still
the
with
clothing
Nomad.
part.
Yeah.
Do they ever hook you up and they hook stuff?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
Mike.
cool.
Mike got the whole
Great
whole
stuff.
setup there. Mr. Fisherman. He's always fishing, so he's like always getting new stuff from them. But I don't really fish, so I don't know. I mean, I guess you don't have to wear it with the fish, but
It's kind of
That's a good
normal
reason.
wear stuff. I love it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job. But
agree.
I would consider it, I agree it's fishing, but I would consider it more just like an Under Armour, like, you know, hey, whatever, you know, throw it
Right.
on. I have a hook shirt
Yeah.
they sent me a few years back, and I wear it a lot, especially if I go down to like Florida or something. I guess I just feel
Yeah.
I feel right when I'm wearing it there. I don't know why. I just
You buy a Salt Life sticker.
you got Salt Life. It's like Salt Life.
I gotta ask, what mic are you guys using?
What mic?
What mic is that? Yeah.
This is the pod mic. So for podcasting, I highly recommend this mic. This is only $100. It's made by Rode.
It's a Rode mic.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Rode pod mic.
I thought it was. So I've been using this thing for
The
a
blue.
few years.
Oh, that's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the look. I mean, it's old school look. It's not old school technology.
Yeah,
I don't know.
works good.
Mine's like 2 or 3 years old, and we use it just for voiceover stuff. And I don't know what happened. This thing is just constantly putting out static now, and I'm probably gonna have to get a new mic. So that's why I was asking. I saw that you guys.
Yeah, so this works, but it works. It's an XLR, so you have to still use like a Foresight, a box to send it. And I thought about using USB ones, but I for some reason I can't get away from this XLR stuff. I don't want to use that. It'd be easier just to go to cord, but you get a little more control.
The USB stuff too. I think every once in a while that you got driver issues with that on your computer, where if you use like the Rode mic into a Focusrite box that you still USBs into your computer, I don't think we have nearly as many technical issues with the mics and stuff like that with software updates and all that kind of stuff. So, and they're super directional, which is really good. Like, I don't know if you guys
That's the
heard, but
key.
my kids just ran upstairs yelling and screaming. I don't know if you guys heard it, but they usually
we
doesn't
didn't
pick
hear it.
up that stuff.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's great. Like right now, I don't have to wear headphones. I can hear you guys through the speakers, but it doesn't even pick you back up, which is
Right.
huge because I can get rid of the headset. Now Jay can't do that. If Jay does on that mic, you'll hear everything around him. So
Jay farts, we're all hearing it.
yeah, we're hearing
But keeping it quiet.
Which one is that, Jay, that you have?
Dave, what
It's
is
like
this?
Audio Technica.
Yeah.
Audio Technica. It was one of the ones we had at the studio because he's like, hey, you got a mic I can use? Like, yeah, we'll find you something laying around. So I found him with that one. And then
Was a
I have
radio,
another one.
Radio Shack on clearance before it closed down.
That was
I was
that mic was
gonna say,
that mic was
Might be.
$150. It was actually more than this mic.
so don't
Believe
buy
it or
it.
not.
Don't buy
No,
this.
I wouldn't
one.
buy it though. I wouldn't buy that one because it doesn't have it's too full circle.
Yeah.
It doesn't have direction, which is
No.
too bad, but
That's all
So,
good.
Sean, hunting gadgets, man. Have you seen anything cool? Are you using anything cool in regards to hunting gadgets? So, right, outside of your normal hunting setup, they got a lot of those like ozone type of stuff and all that kind of. What are you using? You see anything awesome out there?
Man, I really haven't. I don't feel like I've seen anything too new come out. I'm sure you guys are way on top of it more than I am. Just because I see your guys' reviews on stuff come up all the time, which is great because I don't feel like there's many reputable sources out there outside of what you guys are doing. To be honest with you, no, I can't think of anything right now that has really caught my interest. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say one of the things it's so super stupid, but one of the cool. I'm a flashlight guy. I don't know why, but I love flashlights, like dark spaces, and then being able to light it up. Maybe it's because I'm scared of the dark, and that's most likely why. I love flashlight stuff, and they have those new ones where like it's a headband but it's not a headlamp where it's just directional out.
strip.
It goes like all the way around,
Yes.
like almost 180 degrees
It's a
around
strip.
your head, and it's just one huge LED
strip.
and it is just so freaking bright. It's awesome. Now, I wish they made it in green, or I wish they made it in red, so we can do a little bit more with the hunting side of things. And I know Jay will appreciate, because Jay, you're one of those guys is like it needs to be a green light, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So I wish it was like, it's great for blood trails, obviously, but those things, I mean, I put one on the other day and I'm like, Holy crap, dude. It like literally lights up your whole area of focus. It's absolutely
Who
ridiculous.
makes that?
It's
There's
like all
a-
Chinese.
There's a lot of
specific
them.
brand.
What's a big, I'm blanking right now.
They're like 13 bucks. They're like 13 bucks on
Maglite.
Amazon.
Maglite makes one that's really awesome, but there's a lot of Chinese knockoffs nowadays that you can get.
They're
that are
so
pretty-
cheap
I
on
mean,
here.
depending on your value versus quality type of deal. You can get them fairly cheap.
Dude, this would be perfect for tracking a deer though. If you're just gonna try on the white one, this would give you like literally.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
see a red one. I don't see a green or red. Tim,
I
you're
haven't
right.
seen a red or a green yet either. And I don't think, with those
Dang.
LED strips that they're using, that they can really change, because you don't really want it. I mean, if I'm going to buy one, I like the ones that are switching from red, that you can switch from
Yeah.
red to green to white, right? Depending on what scenario you're using it in. And those are usually just like, they're just all white right now, but maybe that's a project we need to take on. I don't know.
Leave it at home.
It's
Yeah, you wear that out there. Every deer, every animal's gonna be like, "Oh, here he comes!
exactly.
There goes Tim. There goes
Yeah, no,
Emo
that's
Tim
exactly
to his ground
right.
blind."
Yeah. And I would
There
say
he
Dave,
goes.
I would say Dave should get one. So when we're tracking deer, but usually his MO is like, oh, you guys go find it. I'll wait here. Just let me know when everything's done.
I'll stay.
That
At
works
last
good.
one.
I like that way.
Yes.
So we-
I was just gonna say Streamlight actually came out with a new light. It's called like the Bear Claw or Bear Trap. I'm sorry, Bear Trap, and it's pretty crazy. Like I just got it a couple days ago, and it like will latch to pretty much anything that you want, especially anything like a handle or whatever, like a tree. It's wild, but it's crazy bright. It almost looks like a little shop light that you would buy or used to be able to buy, that would like plug in and you'd like set it out in your shop floor or something. But this thing, I mean, it'll go anywhere. It's rechargeable and bright as hell, just like all these new LED lights. But I don't know.
Is it like a handheld?
It can be. Check it. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Be good
Yeah, I
for
was trying to find
tracking
it.
for sure.
But yeah, it wouldn't be something for like walking in or whatever in the dark. to go
I don't see on
hunting.
their website. I don't think you're supposed to tell us about it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Bear Trap. 2000.
What's it called? Bear Claw?
No, Bear Trap.
Oh, that's why. I put Bear Claw.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure it out. Like I didn't even know it was coming. I got it in the mail and I was like, what is this?
Oh yeah, that
And then
is
I-
really cool actually. That'd
Yeah,
actually
but
be
it-
really good. That'd be really good for like if you're gutting a deer in the dark, right? It looks like
Right.
that thing kind of stands up and you can stand it up and just
Ah.
point it at you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely wouldn't use that to walk in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Well, like, it is
Got
kind
magnets,
of like a
too.
shop light, like you were saying. Yeah,
Dude.
I like that.
That magnet
See, you
probably
knew
stick
ga-
to your
there was gadgets that you knew. You just didn't know you knew.
No, no.
that magnet probably stick to your tree stand.
Yeah.
Although it's white, so what? We're just gonna let them all know we're here.
No doubt. So, Shawn, what are you most excited for in this year coming up, man?
Man, I'm excited to hunt Kansas. It's not anything new outside of the fact that we got a new farm out there that we're gonna be hunting, and it should be really, really good. It's actually kind of like in western Kansas for the most part, and completely different than anything around here in Missouri. And just because it's so open, it's almost like hunting, I don't know, maybe like western Nebraska / Wyoming. It's just so crazy and open. Just for whitetails, there's no mule deer there, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. We had trail cameras there at the end of the season, so like we know what deer are there. We've shed hunted it. It should be exciting. There should be some really, really big deer, I would think.
So,
How many-
do
how
you
many
hunt it
acres?
differently? Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
How many acres is it?
A little over 1,000,
Nah, so just a small little piece. I get it.
pretty much.
So, do you
But-
hunt it differently when it's wide open versus more woodsy?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to, just because I feel like a lot of these deer could probably see you coming in. Like after shed hunting it, like there's cover and there's trees, but I bet there's maybe like 3 or 4 trees on that whole place that you could actually hang a tree stand. So I think I'm gonna do a lot of ground hunting. I'll have some ground blinds, like some rednecks or whatever that I put out there, but for the most part, I might even just try like tucking into like cedars and stuff and trying that.
Do you work with a ground blind company usually or no?
Redneck. Were.
No, I get you. We got a couple of those.
It's always like that. They're always like that. Everything's like that.
Yeah,
it's like you think it's there. That's why I couldn't answer the clothing company question.
I know, I get it. We use kind of some of those ghost blinds, right? With the kind of the mirrored face to it, and that's kind of cool. I like those, but you got to be honest. You got to be in the right weather for something like that. Sure. Like here in Michigan, they're great for early season, but when you get into later season, and maybe it's just me because I'm getting older, I don't want to sit there out there in cold for 4 hours, 5 hours. You know, that's just me.
Right. So I'm telling you, some of my funnest hunts have been laying under a tree for 4 hours.
That's true.
Some of the closest encounters. So it's always when you two leave, and I just go wherever I want and hide in the bushes. You know, and build.
No one said you can't hide in the bushes. I never said you can't go hide in no bushes. Do what you want, bro.
I would love that, man.
I don't want to cut everybody off because that's where I go. Is kind of where I think they'll come out, and then so many cool encounters.
I'll be sending you pictures of my my buddy heater next to me the whole time too. It'd be great.
So Shawn, last year we experienced something a little different. We got sponsored last year by Shadow Hunter Blind. So we weren't used to like a redneck type blind, Shadow Hunter blind. So that was the first time we got some. But as soon as we made the deal and we got the deal done, we started working for them, and we had not gotten the blinds yet. It took a long time to get the blinds. In fact, we didn't really get the blinds till like November 1st or something. I mean, it was really late.
It was
when we signed the deal
season.
back in like January till the end, and these are like, I don't know how heavy they are, 400, 500, 600 pounds, right? So they weren't like a simple thing you're going to put up right during your rut season, right? It was just kind of a strange situation. So anyways, so towards the end of it, we did get one in place. We didn't get to raise it like we wanted to, but we got it on the ground. But it was a lot different than we're used to. We're used to pop-up lines. Like we would have pop-ups and tree stands throughout a whole couple lots. And this experience of sitting in a blind like that was kind of luxury. Like I felt like, because it was like none of the elements really affected you. And when you turn the heater on, you have to shut it off because it gets so warm in there after time. And it was kind of interesting in the fact that like you could do so many things in there realistically. You could watch like a freaking college football game in that thing with I felt like I was sitting in a little hotel room or something.
So Dave, tell us about some of the accessories that you installed in the
so I did some testing. I really wanted to play around with the idea of, can I get it to where if I'm self-filming, I can put like a camera like right out the window without having to touch it. Like I could hit record, it'd be out the window. And so sure enough, I found some mounts and I mounted mounts under the window. You could open the window, then the camera could go up and in. We use like little video cameras this big. They're like Canon $200. They're not like, the good stuff. They're just HD, whatever. Our hunts aren't like a huge deal. So it's not like we're seeing monsters. So we put it out the window.
Memories,
exactly. And then we'll have like a GoPro inside or something, simple stuff. And then I got like a TV. I got like a battery system that'll power everything. I wanted to see if it was possible. I'm like, this could be a lot of fun. So then I talked to Camp Chef. I'm like, what do you guys think about putting like a little cam thing on the backside of this? They're like, oh yeah, we're in
right now.
We're in. I was like, I'm gonna fry some hot dogs while I'm sitting there hunting and go back in the door. But I was thinking about, I got this idea and I want to do a video on this because I think it'd just be a funny for TikTok and stuff. But I want to put the blind out, put like the cooker on the backside of the door. So like, because ours is like separated by fields. So there's a field in front where you'd shoot, and behind it, there's a little bit of privacy, to be honest. There's some trees and it's kind of, so I thought about buying those fake leaves that go up on strings. You could pull them up like you see in movies, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So they come up, it's like a hallway. Then I create this hallway, and like in the hallway, you can cook and everything, and then go back in and hit the button, and these will come back down.
What better way to attract deer than cooking some cornbread out in the field?
I'm thinking more like turkey, because turkey don't care about smell. So I was thinking it'd make more sense to do it during turkey season.
Yeah, that would be pretty legit, especially for turkeys that like take forever to come out of the field or whatever. But I agree with you
Yeah.
for sure, Dave. Late season is really the only time that like I hunt out of an enclosed blind like that because it's so freaking cold sometimes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that this year. We were like sitting there on our phones, like watching playoff football over deer hunting, like early afternoon, just sitting there, like, oh yeah, here comes some deer. And I was like,
It's what it's
this
come
is
to, though.
insane.
It's changed
It
a lot.
has.
Let's be honest. Since we were
I
kids,
agree.
you would be bored out of your mind out there for a long time, and now it's like sometimes I'll be messing around, I'll look up, there'll be a deer right there. I'm like, holy cow, what am I doing? Like, I gotta get
Yeah.
ready, you know.
I don't
had it
know if my
happen-
ADD could have handled it back before like 2005, before like the smartphone came on board. And thankfully, Dave, you didn't get me into hunting until after the smartphones had come out, so I can actually handle it. Because honestly, I'd be like Jamie. I would sit there for an hour and then I'd make an excuse that I have to go in and take a poop, and then I'd just never come back.
Yeah, I wish I had on camera the way my dad used to take me hunting. You guys would just lose your
2
mind.
hours in the morning, 2 hours at night.
No, he'd stay out all day, but stop moving, stop sniffing.
Oh yeah.
You got the crappy mic, like Walmart boots with
Yep.
the felt.
You guys remember
My
the
feet were
heater? You
cold
open
before I
it.
hit the stand. We had no heaters.
Yeah.
No,
the
remember
little,
it was a hand warmer, and you burned it. You had to start.
Yeah.
a fire.
Yeah. I
We
got
had
one.
no
of those.
hand
Yep.
warmers.
Yep.
Stop being a sissy. I think I heard that about 300 times.
you had the hot
Still a
seat too.
sissy.
Remember?
You're still a sissy. I don't know what to tell you.
It ain't gonna
Well,
get.
your
It
hands-
obviously didn't work.
Dave's fingers get cold in 5 minutes. You gotta come up.
I have a disease.
It does though.
Sorry.
Oh my
You
gosh,
have
his
lots of
fingers turn
diseases.
white.
All the secrets coming out today.
So do you guys ever hunt anywhere where you don't have service now?
I try not to.
I'll admit I'm the
We
same
got-
way.
You
Yes.
get service at John's place.
I don't. That is the one
Yeah,
place that
see.
I hunt where I'll get service, but it's not even enough to like text a group. Because like when you text over a group, it does it through like your Wi-Fi band or whatever, right? But if you text somebody individually, it does it through cell phone signal. And so like I have just enough signal to like text one person a text message, but what sucks and what drives me nuts is I can't send stupid gifts to everybody. And that's what like I'm a gift sender. I love sending gifts and I can't send them. And no, it's one of those things. But to solve that problem, Netflix and some other apps allow you to download content, right? So here I am a week before going to John's hunt camp, and I'm sitting on Netflix and I'm downloading all these movies that I can watch in the ground blind, so I don't have to worry about it.
Shawn, have you ever hunted in northern Canada?
Yes, I have. British Columbia. Well,
That's
I guess
that's more north than us, but
Yeah, we didn't have any service up at Bear Camp.
yeah, I was just saying Canada, we have nothing. It was
You
like
die,
I felt like
you die. It is
I
what
thought
it
I felt
is.
that way, and without a weapon to protect me, I really felt like I was like in a really bad way.
Yeah, we went on a hunt in 2019 in British Columbia, moose hunt, and so it was a 10-day hunt. Like they drop you off on a plane, and they're like, "We'll be back in 10 days." And I mean, we're playing tic-tac-toe in the dirt. Like we got bored.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
It's so weird too when you go into those situations. Not weird, but I guess like I don't know. By the end of it, it's pretty refreshing. You're like, man, I don't even want to go back to that phone because I don't even want to know how many notifications I have, emails,
Right.
the whole everything. Kind of nice out here.
Yeah.
But the first few days, you like get anxiety. Like, man,
What if something happened?
Right.
Yeah.
What if Russia attacked Ukraine? What's going on right now?
Yeah. All over.
Crazy.
What if I can't find the batteries for this camera all this way?
Oh man.
All right,
Yeah.
Shawn, thanks a lot, man, for bull crapping with us. That was a lot of fun. I tend to. It's nice not to have a set agenda and we just mess around. You know, it just becomes
Sure.
fun.
Yeah, I don't even know what we talked about anymore. It was great.
It's the way it should be.
I'm gonna have to watch this podcast myself just to remember what we talked about.
Oh my God, Heartland Bowhunter, check it online, guys. You guys, I'm sure you've already heard about it, but anyway, if you haven't, heartlandbowhunter.com, and then also, you guys, people go to your website to figure out when it airs on TV.
You can do that. Yep. Or you'll find it on social media somewhere. But yeah, like our main slot is Thursday nights at 9:30 Eastern. So that's year round.
Perfect. And Shawn, are you doing the social media stuff, or is Mike doing that?
I handle pretty much all of that. So yeah.
All right, I'll see you on TikTok, my friend.
All right, sounds good.
And don't forget, for all of your speaking engagement needs, reach out to Shawn Luchtel.
Yes, please.
He loves it.
It's Shawn Luchel.
Luchtel? Luchtel?
Yeah. That's it. You got it.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Shawn. We'll see you guys.